My background is in drafting and design and customer service, but I've always been in the customer service kind of field and always wanted to get into real estate. Just had a certain timeline that I was going to get into real estate, and then I was challenged just to start now because you got to get it started. So that was kind of the push for me. I got my license and everything. And when I was looking for a brokerage, a friend recommended 54 Realty because of their training. So I'm like, that's great. I need all the training because I have no idea what I'm doing yet. I'm new and there's certain aspects. I'm like, what can I do? What can I do? You know what I mean? Like legally or like what's ethical or whatever. So I'm very much, not necessarily by the book, but I'm like asking advisors, hey, is this okay to do this? Or I'll text Amy or Chris like, hey, got a question. So I think once you get comfortable or once you get your clientele or whatever, I think there's flexibility of doing things how you want to run your business.
But there's also like the stability if you need it.
Yes, the stability is there. There is structure, even like in app files and things like that. Like Amy told me, she's like, you always just check basically a little checklist on the side of what documents they need. That will kind of help you. I was like, oh, that's a great idea. So now I do that. I just make sure all those are filled out. There's certain things where you feel structured, like, okay, there's a foundation, but you can be flexible if you want to. I bounce back and forth between Amy and Chris. Somebody there that's a little bit wiser, knows the game, isn't afraid to answer your questions, and is not going to make you feel silly for not knowing the questions, even if you already asked that question, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So for me, it's a comfort of knowing at least I have two people on call that I can text or whatever, and I can get an answer pretty quickly. I've talked to other agents from other brokerages and stuff. You know, they're like, you have training, but it's kind of like on your own type of training, like on, you know, here's what you need to know, but nobody's like keeping you accountable or no one's going to make sure you're going to these trainings. I just knew I needed somebody to like, all right, these are the classes you need to go to the classes. That's the main reason I came to 54 Realty is the training and in that environment. I have some friends that are agents and they got their license like, you know, right around the time I did, a little bit after. They went with other brokerages and stuff, but just some of the feedback I get from them, it's like, you know, I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta go do this and this and this. They're like, oh. I'm like, you guys don't have that? And she's like, no. It's very like spread out instead of like a team or training together and working together.
It's like real estate college here.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like a class. Like when we passed our, was it 9 weeks or whatever the first training was, you know, took a picture and everything. Like, that's a lot to accomplish. It's good to have like a group that you're doing it with. We're gonna get through this together instead of you doing it by yourself. All pluses, just from other friends that have gone to other brokerages, they're doing great and whatnot, but I could tell the connection, the team connection isn't as strong or whatever as it is here.